Shout out to official True Drew for sending me this story, and it's coming out of Georgia, where you have this 16-year-old palm-colored she-demon was planning to pull a Dylann roof on this particular black church that you see right in front of you. Now, I know I always say that I usually won't do a story like this until I know the identity of the person, but because they say she's a minor, they're keeping her identity sealed. And I know they're probably not going to release it because this story was posted on the 20th. So we're talking over 10 days ago when this story went out, but I'm just now learning about it right now. But let me go ahead and get into it. It says a 16-year-old girl, or like I said, a 16-year-old palm-colored she-demon, who was accused of planning to murder members of a predominantly black church, went to great lengths to plan the attack. The girl, who was not identified because she is a minor, collected multiple knives, such as a kitchen and butcher knives, before she was arrested and charged for the alleged plot on Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church. Gainesville Police Chief Jay Parrish told reporters Tuesday night. She also allegedly visited the church once in the weeks before her arrest, but no services were in session. Basically, she was scoping to see if anybody was there. That's basically all it was. Otherwise, she probably would have carried out her plan at the time. Or just maybe to get a grasp of what she was about to get herself or try to get herself into. By the grace of God and by divine intervention, at the time she went to the church, there was nobody there, and they weren't having church at the time. She went to great lengths to plan it, to get weapons and launch her attack on the church. Police determined that the church had been targeted by the juvenile based on the racial demographic of the church members. She was charged with criminal attempt to commit murder. School administrators were the first ones notified of the alleged attack after other students found the teenager's notebook that laid out the alleged plot, prompting them to contact school counselors at Gainesville High School. Dr. Jeremy Williams, superintendent of Gainesville City School System, said he was stunned over the arrest. A single act by a student does not represent the views and beliefs of Gainesville City School System. As a school system that celebrates our diversity, we are beyond stunned with the recent development. However, we are extremely proud of our students notifying school administration of a possible off-campus threat. Bishop Reginald Jackson, the presiding bishop of the 6th Episcopal District of the African Methodist Episcopal, that is made up of more than 500 churches, told reporters that it ought to bother us in the state of Georgia that this young woman cannot be charged with a hate crime. I will have to agree with that. I just realized, I'm not even going to lie, reading that, I didn't catch that she wasn't charged with a hate crime when I read the charge that she was charged with, which was just one charge: the attempt to commit murder. And not only that, an attempted terrorist act. Georgia is one of 4 states in the country that does not have hate crime laws. And you notice that most of the states that never had a hate crime law are the ones where most of the hate crime occurs. The incident raises very serious issues and also raises questions that need to be answered. The teenager is being held at the Regional Youth Detention Center. But yeah, this little palm-colored she-demon, attempted terrorist, was trying to commit a Dylann roof. I would not be surprised if she was inspired by him. Now, let's break this down for a little bit, briefly. This little bitch, I'm just calling it how I see it, is 16. Let's do the math here. So let's see, 16 years of age. She was born in the 2000s, that's for sure. She's definitely a Gen Zer, knocking almost on the next generation's door. She was born in 2003. So she was born right probably at the end of Gen Z, I want to guess, because I'm not too familiar with the years as far as the range for the generations. But I think I think she's Gen Z. And she was harboring that hatred at 16 years of age. She didn't just get that. She got it from somewhere. They need to look into her damn home life. Like, what are her parents like? And I find it also very interesting that they're keeping her identity sealed, considering what she tried to do. Her name and image should be put out there. Because if it was a black person that did this, whether boy or girl, who tried to do something like this, or even nothing even remotely this extreme, they would have had their name. We would have known where they went to school. We would have known their grade point averages. We would have known what their parents did for a living, where they lived, what did they eat this morning for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of that, the whole nine. We would have known all of that. But they want to seal her identity because, I know what they're doing. They got to play up the game of, we got to think of her future. Fuck her future and fuck her. And the pieces of shit that gave birth to her. Yeah, I'm talking about her parents. So what? Because they probably know of what their daughter is capable of and what she's like, because they probably taught her that. At 16, y'all. And people try to say that racism hasn't gone away. Like I said again, she's 16. She's not 36. She's not 46. She's not 56. She's 16. She is very young with the plot, with the mindset that she was going to go and kill a whole bunch of black people in the church, like Dylann Roof did. Mind you, Dylann Roof wasn't that much older than she was when he did what he did. People think that palm colored people are so far removed from where they were at one point. No, they are not. I keep trying to tell people that. They'll show you one thing in your face, but then they'll be completely different when they're by themselves or amongst their own. I've shown you that in plenty of videos where you had two girls talking about wanting to bring back slavery, and another one where one of them was trying to justify herself using the N-word, and guess where they were? Amongst themselves. They will not do that with others around. They probably will not in casual conversation. The only time they'll do it when others are around is when they're when they are berating someone, like I did with that video with that white lady going at it with that black female hotel employee the way that she did. And then they'll cover it up and say, that's not me. That was the alcohol talking. Well, they say a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. You meant that. But we'll see what the outcome of this is, if there is any outcome at all. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one. And before I go, the fact that they're not charging her with a hate crime, it pretty much already lets you know what direction they're headed with this already.